before you watch this, lock your door. Because the family in this story did everything right. They didn't open the window, they didn't answer. But one child just looked. That was enough. 3 knocks, then silence. The boy who looked out that window is alive today, but he stopped growing that night at 8 years old. And no one in his village will say why, out loud.
This is Hachishakusama, and that boy's story is only the beginning. Tonight, you're going to meet 3 things Japan has spent decades trying to bury. An 8-foot woman who doesn't attack you. She claims you, and once she says your name, there is no version of this story where you get to run. A girl who was cut in half by a train, and somehow, that wasn't the end of her. It was the beginning of something worse. And a bathroom stall with 2 choices. Neither one lets you walk out the same person who walked in. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why families in rural Japan still won't let their children walk home after dark. But stay until the end, because the last legend I'm about to tell you isn't folklore. People still report it. This year. Let's go back to that boy for a moment, because before that night, he was completely normal. Average height, average family, living in a small town surrounded by rice fields, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and nothing ever happens. Until the summer, his grandmother came to visit. She arrived nervous, kept glancing at the windows, and on her second night there, she told his parents something strange. Don't let the children outside after dark. Not even to the porch. Not for anything. She wouldn't explain why. Just that when she was young, there was a rule in their family. A rule nobody broke. Not once. The rule was simple. If you hear 3 knocks, do not look outside. If you hear a voice count your name, you do not answer. And if you see her, you do not look up. Because Hachishakusama is 8 feet tall. She wears a white burial hat, the kind used in old Japanese funerals. And she doesn't chase you. She waits. She circles the house, slowly, for hours, sometimes days, counting under her breath. Ichi. Ni. San. 1, 2, 3. Villagers say she's counting the family inside, deciding, one by one, who she's going to take. And once she says a name out loud, that person belongs to her. Not immediately, sometimes not for years, but eventually, she comes back for them. That night, the boy's grandmother thought she'd gotten everyone inside in time. She hadn't counted on a 5-year-old who just wanted to know what the knocking was. He opened the curtain, just an inch, and for less than a second, he saw her, looking directly back at him, already smiling. He didn't hear his name, not that night, but he stopped growing 3 days later. And to this day, his family won't say if that was a curse or a warning. Here's the part that makes Hachishakusama different from every other tall, pale ghost story you've heard. She's not random. She's not hunting strangers. Families who've encountered her say she specifically targets people who are already grieving, already vulnerable, already missing someone, as if she can smell it on a household. Which means the real horror of Hachishakusama isn't that she might be outside your window tonight, it's that she chooses, and once she's chosen you, the only thing standing between you and her is whether you're strong enough to never ever answer. Hachishakusama waits outside your window. She gives you a choice and time to make it. But the next legend doesn't wait, and she doesn't give you time to think. Because she's not standing outside anything. She's already behind you. Teke Teke. Her name was Kashima Reiko. At least that's the name most people use, though in some towns, they refuse to say it out loud at all. They just call her the Sound. The story goes back to a train station. Late at night. A teenage girl, waiting alone on the platform, earphones in, not paying attention to how close she was standing to the edge. Nobody knows exactly what happened next. Some say she was pushed, some say she slipped, some say she jumped. What everyone agrees on is that the train didn't stop in time, and when it was over, only half of her was left. Here's where the official story ends. Train accident. Tragic. Case closed. But the people who live near that station tell a different version, the one that never made it into any report. They say something crawled off those tracks that night, using its arms, dragging what was left of itself across the platform, making a sound that still gets whispered about in that town. Teek. Teke. Teek. The scrape of hands and elbows against concrete, moving faster than anything with half a body should be able to move. Faster than you can run. The rule with Teke Teke isn't about opening a curtain or answering to your name. It's simpler and somehow worse. If you hear that sound behind you on an empty street at night, you don't stop. You don't turn around. You don't check how close it is. Because the moment you see her, she's already close enough to reach you. And what she does next depends on the story you've heard. Some say she cuts you in half, so you become just like her. Others say she asks you one question first. Where are my legs? There's no right answer. Say you don't know, and she decides you're useless to her. Point anywhere, a field, a forest, another town, and she drags herself there first, checking, hunting, searching every single night. Which means somewhere, right now, in some quiet town in Japan, she's still looking. Parents in rural areas still tell their kids the same thing every single night. Don't walk home late. Don't walk home alone. And if you ever hear scraping behind you on an empty road, don't run. Don't look. Just keep walking, like you never heard it at all. Hachishakusama gives you time to decide whether to answer. Teke Teke doesn't wait for an answer at all. She's already on you before you can choose. But the last legend doesn't even give you the mercy of running. It gives you a door, two choices, and a stall you're not walking out of the same person.
This next one doesn't happen on a dark road. It doesn't happen outside your window. It happens somewhere you've probably been today. A public restroom. The kind with old tiled walls, flickering lights, and a stall at the very end that nobody wants to use. The story starts the same way, almost every time. Someone goes in, alone, usually late a school hallway after hours, a gas station off a quiet highway, a park restroom as the sun goes down, and while they're in that last stall, a voice comes from nowhere. No footsteps, no door opening, just a voice, calm and polite, like it's asking about the weather. Would you like a red cape or a blue cape? That's it. That's the whole question. Most people, confused, just answer. Red or blue. Whichever comes to mind first. They shouldn't have. Because if you say red, something reaches around from behind you, and by the time anyone finds you, your clothes are soaked through with your own blood. Red cape. And if you say blue, you're found drained of it instead. Pale, cold, empty, blue cape. There is no safe color. Whichever one you pick, that's the one that gets used. Some versions of the story say there's a way out. Don't answer at all. Say you don't want a cape. Say nothing and walk away. But here's the detail that keeps people up at night in almost every account. The voice doesn't let you leave in silence. It asks again and again. Patient, polite, waiting for you to finally pick red or blue. Because Aka Manto doesn't chase you down a road, and he doesn't circle your house for days deciding. He already has you standing still, alone, in a place you can't easily run from, and all he needs is for you to make one choice, any choice. That's what makes him different from the other two. Hachishakusama, you can avoid by never answering. Teke Teke, you can avoid by never looking back. But Aka Manto doesn't need you to look or answer to your name. He just needs you to pick. And whichever you pick, you lose. Which is why, in some parts of Japan, that last stall in certain old buildings is simply never used. Not out of habit, out of rule. Researchers who study Japanese urban legends have noticed the same pattern across almost all of them. These aren't just ghost stories. They're rules disguised as horror. Don't wander alone. Don't talk to strangers. Don't trust anyone who wants something small from you, because small requests are how people get taken advantage of. The legend is the warning. The fear is what makes children actually listen, which is why, decades later, families in small towns across Japan still repeat these rules to their kids, not because they believe a woman is standing outside the window, but because the story still works. It still keeps kids inside after dark. It still makes them think twice before answering a stranger. It still makes them walk a little faster on an empty street. And maybe that's the real reason Japan never let these legends die. Not because they're true, but because forgetting them felt more dangerous than remembering them.